Unscripted.
You know, I think this generation, more than some of the others, are going to kind of be remembered for some different things. I think, to be honest with you, in particular, this generation is going to be maybe looked back at by, I would say, probably Sony themselves and say, I wish we would have been able to make more consoles to launch our PlayStation 5 with. What could have been, right? Because I feel like where the iron's hot, you have to go out there, you have to be able to go out there and provide the console that people want. And I think that, you know, obviously there's going to be like good news and bad news for certain instances here, but I also feel like obviously the fact that, you know, there's millions of people out there that are still looking for a PlayStation 5, that robot accounts and scalpers are making hundreds of thousands of dollars on, you know, hardware picking it up with bots and stuff like that. Clearly it's going to be a problem for some time, and we were told maybe April, May, something like that we would start to see some relief when it comes to PlayStation 5s and availability and things like that. And now we're getting news that might not be the case, and it could be even much longer than that. And I wanted to get into this as quickly as possible. But again, you know what? I do think that it should be commended that we got consoles at all. I just feel like what could have been, like, I think it's fun to see records fall and record-breaking sales and stuff like that. It really means that the industry is completely healthy and that we're going to continue to see, you know, these consoles flourish, and in particular, you know, that's good for everybody. You know, we all want gamers to do well, and we all want gaming to do well, so that we continue to have that, you know, that amazing sort of competition. And again, I pointed this out time and time again, when you don't have that competition, you end up in a situation how like WWE Wrestling was for a long time after they bought out ECW and WCW. There just was no competition, and the product kind of stagnates. Same thing happens with like Madden football, right? EA owns Madden football, and yes, 1 every 5 games might be decent, but for the most part, that game stagnates every generation, and they remove something and then put it back 3 games later, and everybody's like, wow, you know what I mean? But it's like catching up to them because obviously there's no competition there. And now if you go back to the last time there was competition, NFL 2K5, that game came out and was at a price point of $19.99, was far superior than Madden, actually made Madden lower the price that year. And again, Madden didn't like it, bought out the rights to the NFL, and the rest is history. You know, we haven't had a decent a NFL game to actually beat NFL 2K in all this time, in my opinion. That's in my opinion, of course. But with that being said, we did get some information from Sony about what to expect and when to expect PlayStation 5s actually being able to be there. And I want to talk about that, so let's get started. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for checking it out. If you're looking for a way to help out my little crappy channel, the best way to do it is a simple like. It goes a long way, and it means a lot to me personally. Honestly, it does. You can also consider subscribing. Hit the bell so you're notified of all the content as soon as it drops. Shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, and everybody in between. You are absolutely amazing. You are, honestly, it's been an amazing year, and that's all thanks to you guys and girls out there. So thank you so much for always helping out and stuff like that. So again, Sony had originally said, you know, maybe around April or May we might start to see some relief in terms of when these consoles are going to be readily available. And this isn't to say that we won't see consoles available here and there in little short bursts, but at the same time, it is kind of confirming that we probably won't see consoles available at like a huge amount of retail anytime soon. The fact of the matter is, unfortunately, with the pandemic going on and other countries and things like that going down to lockdown and things like that, they're starting to sort of slow down some of the imports of the consoles. And also with the pandemic, neither Microsoft nor Sony want people to actually line up and like wait out there for consoles, physical consoles, to be available in stores. So that's something that we're gonna have to deal with for a while, into next year. Like, I know I keep saying this, but a lot of people go, man, I can't wait for 2020 to be over. It was such a bad year. And I always say, well, you know what? Listen, it was a mixed bag for sure. I'm sure a lot of us got taught a lesson. A lot of us kind of learned a lot from 2020, but the pandemic doesn't suddenly end January 1st, 2021. It just doesn't. So things are going to continue to be sort of status quo going into next year. More and more places are kind of going into lockdown. We don't even know here in the U.S. With the new president and stuff like that, more restrictions and things like that could be going into place as some of this stuff is kind of spiked up or whatever. And we'll have to see how that sort of works out in the long term. But I know in a lot of places where these games are developed, you have a situation where they aren't allowed to work together. They have to work from home. They have to do like sort of all these different things, and that's very difficult to sort of going going that way, you know what I mean? So when we kind of look back at everything that's happened, did we get a really complete game during all of this? I mean, it's really hard to say. Spider-Man Miles Morales even had some glitches and bugs that most games had. And then on the extreme side of things, we get to see a situation where Cyberpunk 2077 really was in a rough state due to, I mean, you can blame the pandemic as well. But at the same time, I think that it's very important to keep in mind that, this could even go into 2022 sometime when we're actually able to go into a store and potentially buy a PlayStation 5, like just off of a store shelf or what have you. And that's going to be something that I think everybody's going to have a hard time with, because at that point you're already a year plus into the next generation, right? So you're a year plus into the next generation. We're getting games, we're getting that kind of stuff. It could potentially hold back sales of the PlayStation 5, and the main reason why it would do that, again, I have to state, is the fact that they're not getting as many out there as they want, and that also goes for Xbox Series X or whatever. But as far as being concerned about that, it's not really my issue, because I don't think that's as popular amongst gamers as the PlayStation 5 right now. So we do kind of have to keep that in mind as well. But again, I'm not saying that you won't be able to get one till 2022 or anything like that, because obviously Sony has stated that they're going to continue to get these out there. Basically, what's happening like right now, you're going to be able to get some at restock at Walmart, Target, Amazon, Best Buy, and other places. Sony's delivering more of these consoles all the time. It's hard to find a PlayStation 5, but there are restocks and they're selling out all the time. You have to kind of keep that in mind, but there are a lot as well. So Target seems to be one of the best bets for restocking even this year, but even more next year as well. Walmart, they probably aren't going to have any until next year. The PlayStation 5 at Best Buy is online only, and the retailer reminds customers that they need to order the console online for curbside pickup only. You cannot walk into a Best Buy and get a PS5 off the shelf. Best Buy lists the PS5 and the digital edition as 5 PS5 packages that include games or controllers at a higher price, but you have to pay attention to the packages at Best Buy, which may see a faster restock, meaning bundles, which is the same thing at like GameStop. It's basically an essential place that you can check, and there's always going to be bundles and stuff there. The main issue with these bundles are they're much more expensive and can potentially bundle things that you might not want or might not need. So you have to kind of keep that into consideration going forward as well. But the be all end all, obviously everybody wants a PlayStation 5, but are they going to be able to get one? That's going to be a completely different story. Hopefully everybody can get one that really wants one. And same thing with the Xbox. Like, I'm not against Xbox, I just feel like there's a lot of people out there that don't really want that due to the fact that there's a lack of games or whatever. But for me personally, I'm really looking forward to seeing when everybody's going to be able to get one, and everybody's going to be able to get the console that they want. Obviously this is going to be something that a lot of people are going to be struggling with for a long time to come. Even if you have the money, it's like almost no amount of money is going to get you one unless you're willing to pay double or triple the cost of a regular retail, what they would normally be. So hopefully that's something they kind of get straightened out sooner rather than later. But it is bad news up until that point. It's not good for Xbox either, because they're not going to be able to go out there and do anything better. So I do hope that it's something that they can get rectified quicker, sooner rather than later. And I'm looking forward to, you know, everybody being able to go out there and sort of get what they want, and just to be happy. You know, that's the most important thing with gamers, no matter what it is. You know, you spend your money and your hard-earned money that you've earned yourself on whatever you want, and that's perfectly fine. I just tend to speak my opinion on the lack of games and stuff like that from Microsoft, which is unfortunate, but I do hope they kind of get that together very soon, even though it doesn't look like they're planning on getting it together till 2023 or 2024. So you know, hopefully everything gets better, and hopefully everything works out well. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. Please take a minute to consider subscribing. Take care of each other. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.